Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to Heart Driven Tarot, where you receive intuitive answers from the tarot to your burning questions. Today we're going to look at the card of the year for 2022. The year 2022 adds up to a number 6. So the 6 in the tarot deck is the Major Arcana card, the Lover's card. And as you can see here, it's a very dramatic image. I have talked about the Lover's card in the past, and I will include a link to my earlier lesson about it. But what we focus on most, or what this means to us most in 2022, is that this year, especially if you're a writer, creative type, is going to focus on conscious connections. That is from, I will give attribution to Bridget Esselman. In her 2022 planner, she says that yes, indeed, the 2022 is the 6th year, which aligns with the Lover's card, and that is about conscious connections. Well, the Lover's card in itself is about partnerships, about unions, about collaboration, because as we can see here, we've got the figures, the allegorical figures of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And what I always find interesting about this image, if you look at it closely, is that Adam is looking at Eve, toward Eve, as if he's looking toward her for guidance, which aligns well with the philosophy of my spiritual coach, Carol DeRay, who says male energy is like the muscle power, but male energy looks toward the female for guidance. And then the female in turn looks towards spirit or the superconscious for the ultimate guidance. So we kind of have that trio here. And for this year, 2022, given that it's a Lover's card, it suggests to me that we're going to be focusing on conscious connections, on partnerships, and that can be personal relationships and also in your work. If you're a writer, who do you need to collaborate with, or what agents or publishers, or how do you need to go about getting your work out into print, that kind of thing, or artists as well. Who do you need to ally yourself with and align yourself with? But ultimately, we always have to look at the Archangel Raphael, and one thing, important point about Archangel Raphael is he is the angel of healing. So in this coming year, it seems to me that we as writers and other creatives need to focus. That's what's going to be a core focus for us, is that healing, partnerships, unions, positive unions, and harmonizing our male and female energies with spirit, with guidance from spirit, to make the most of ourselves and of our work, of our contributions. And what always pops out at me, of course, is the sun illuminating, suggesting clarity and bringing light. And that's what writers do. Writers bring or illuminate various topics, various subjects. That's all, and as artists as well. Artists capture the beauty of life. And entrepreneurs bring in new products and services that shine forth in some way. So these are all qualities that we can instill within ourselves in this coming year. Some other areas to look at is that, of course, we've got these two individuals kind of are bookending the image, and they're standing there in opposite, kind of on opposite sides of the image. And Adam is in front of the tree of life, of fire energy, and then Eve is in front of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And so there are lots of choices that we're going to have to be making in this year. And there's sometimes, as with anyone, there are temptations. We can be tempted to get distracted. We can be tempted to get off track. And so I believe that in addition to conscious connections, we need to make wise choices. We need to make very informed and inspired choices in our work, in our relationships, etc. And of course, here we have the mountain in the background. It's rather a phallic looking symbol, I might say. And the mountain, though, refers to aspirations. So this is all part of the dynamics of this year of 2022, is what aspirations do we have and how can we best achieve them. And I feel it's always that triad of the male energy, the female energy, and the muscle power of the male, the female energy, heart-based, and looking to spirit for the ultimate guidance and direction. There will always be temptations as represented by the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We've got the snake especially slithering behind. That's always the temptation that's there. So these are the energies and the dynamics that are going to be at play in 2022, and that what we need to be aware of. And to that end, the book I'd like to recommend is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I've had this in my library for a number of years. And the reason I recommend that book is I think it's a good balance. It provides a good balance of what we need to do to harmonize. He doesn't come out and say it in that way, but for me, it's similar to harmonizing the male, the intellectual with the heart-based, and then the spiritual. In terms of, it's just balancing all those energies together in an effective way. So I recommend that book. And the songs that I recommend are I Believe in You by Celine Dion, because that's kind of a romantic song and reminds me of the Lovers. And again, lovers can refer to a romantic relationship, but also it just, for me, is partnerships and choices. And then the other song that's came to mind is I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders, because that kind of has the same vibe as I Believe in You. And it's talking about tough times. But overall, in 2022, our mission and our focus is going to be about partnerships, illuminated conscious connections, wise choices, not getting led astray, and being ultimately always led by spirit and divine guidance in everything we do, in all our projects, in all our relationships. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with tarot.